Well, hello everyone, welcome to Smells Like. I'm Josh, so good to see it. Got a little discovery set I thought it might be fun to just go through. This is from Etat Libre D'Orange. They are a niche fragrance house that is really focused on the artistic, sort of avant-garde, fun, interesting kind of side of perfumery. So I got, this is kind of like their best hits discovery set. It has 7 eau de parfums. They have other discovery sets, like they have one that is like their 7, their most daring scents. This one is their best sellers, like their 7 most popular. So it comes with a little insert, and then you've got your like wheel of fragrance samples here. So I just want to go through, give a little brief explanation of each one and kind of my thoughts on it. So let's start with the fragrance Dangerous Complicity. They list this one as having coconut, rum, ylang ylang, sandalwood. This also has a lot of osmanthus in it, which is this kind of fruity floral note. Dangerous Complicity, this one is also, like the idea behind it is like the whole forbidden fruit, you know, Adam and Eve thing. So this to me is like a fruity floral mixed with some unexpected things like, you know, the rum gives it that kind of boozy thing. This to me is like an artistic take on kind of like that women's fruity floral thing, except this has some naughty bits in there to make it a little bit more interesting, and I think to make it smells kind of scandalous, like it smells kind of sexy. To me, it smells pretty feminine. There's a little bit of kind of like a women, like a feminine sex appeal here. That booziness. This definitely kind of has a naughty, like a kind of a naughty bit to it. And that's actually something that I've noticed in a lot of the Eldo fragrances. They like to put a little bit of scandal in there, sexuality, kind of, you know, a little bit of interesting stuff in there. On to the next one then, Remarkable People. This is probably one of their most well-known and one of their most popular. It's also one of the easiest ones, I think, to access. This one is not quite as daring. This has an accord that is meant to evoke champagne. There's some citrus in here, spicy florals, and a base of soft woods. This one reminds me of like an upscale rooftop party, like in a city, like a summer evening rooftop party or something like that. Because it's just sparkly and easy and effortless. It smells really good. It smells really high quality, but it's also kind of understated. Next we have Jasmine et Cigarette. This one, the name is kind of self-explanatory. You have main notes of jasmine and then an accord that is meant to smell like cigarette smoke. This is an homage to black and white film, the actresses of old that would have smelled like jasmine perfume and powdery, you know, powdery jasmine musk, that like narcotic jasmine, and then cigarette smoke. Because let's face it, back in the days of like black and white movies, they were smoking a lot of cigarettes. So that's what this smells like. This smells like kind of a narcotic jasmine, meaning like a heady jasmine, not a very tasteful jasmine, like very heady, very what would have been in the olden days, kind of a scandalous, like sexy jasmine. And then cigarette smoke. Probably not something that I would wear, although it is really interesting, and it definitely does what it sets out to do in that it conjures this sort of old-fashioned feeling. Does that perfectly, so, and I think that's what they were aiming to do. The next one, Fat Electrician. I believe this one is a take on a vetiver scent, and they've taken that vetiver and mixed it with some more gourmand elements, like I think there's like a marshmallowy, kind of like a soft vanilla and marshmallow underneath the vetiver here. Really interesting. Let's see, they say a classic vetiver with nuance of olive leaves and the creaminess of vanilla. This one's really interesting. It's a very earthy, rooty vetiver. It's not very green, so it's got that earthiness. And then like a soft, warm vanilla, kind of almost like a marshmallow fluff kind of vibe to it. Very interesting, very artistic, but also wearable. I think this one is quite wearable. I would put this Fat Electrician up there with Remarkable People in terms of the more wearable ones, at least for my own taste, that I would actually wear and consider getting full bottles of. The next one is Putain des Palaces. Probably saying that incorrectly. I think that this one is known to be like the most naughty. Like, I think the name even means something scandalous. I'm not sure. I think it might. I don't want to say wrong what it means. My understanding is it has something to do with like the idea of a house of ill repute. You know, a place where you would go for pleasures of the flesh, shall we say. So this one going to be an avant-garde kind of thing. They've listed it as roses, violets, and lilies of the valley that are threatened with animal notes. I know that this one is said to smell very almost like human, like it has some animalistic or like human notes to it. The smell remind you actually of the smell of, that people can give off sometimes. Very floral, very powdery. This really what this smells like is like powder, like that women would wear in the olden days when they would put on like lots of powder. This smells like powder and sex. Like that's what this smells like a powdered I can't say it. I just can't say it. Like a powdered lady. That's what this smells. It's kind of unbelievable. Putain des Palaces. It's not something I would wear. Definitely takes you somewhere though. Definitely paints a pretty vivid picture, that one. Pretty interesting. The next one, let's see, we've got two left. The next one is called Like This. I think that it's fairly new. I think it came out like just within the last year or two. The whole idea behind it is the color orange. So different scents that would evoke the color orange. Let's see what they write. They say, created with fiercely talented actress Tilda Swinton, this soft and spicy scent is orange, carrots, ginger, pumpkins, tangerine. It evokes the tender comfort of home. This was a Fragrance Foundation France Award winner. I definitely get the sort of vegetal carrot. There's also something maybe like ylang ylang in here, that kind of yellow floral. This also reminds me of like the smell of like warm skin, like when you've been out in the sun in the summer and you come in and your skin has kind of like you've gotten like a little bit of a tan and your skin gets that kind of like warm, been in the sun smell. That's what this reminds me of. I like it. I kind of like the feeling that it evokes. It has kind of a nostalgic feel to it. Interesting. I could see actually really liking this and enjoying wearing it, but I could also see not. So not sure, but it definitely conjures the image. It definitely makes you feel this kind of burnt orange feel. So again, I think that this brand does a really good job of capturing what they're going for, kind of the artistic vision of each one of these scents. They definitely pull it off. They're definitely bringing to mind what they've set out to do with a lot of these. I'm really impressed by the quality of all of these, like whether it's my taste or not, or whether it evokes, you know, something weird that I, you know, like that I'm not really into as far as my taste in perfume. I'm impressed by all of these, the quality, the way they're built. This is high-end niche perfumery done in a really like offbeat way that I think is pretty cool. So the last one I have here is just called Cologne. This is their, I think, most easily you know, worn, most accessible scent. This is kind of done in the eau de cologne style, but it's not an eau de cologne concentration. This is an eau de parfum. They have written that it is a nice scent. A fresh blend of orange blossom, blood orange, and bergamot with just a hint of musk and jasmine. The perfection of simplicity, which to me that sums up the cologne style. Simplicity, the perfection of it, an easy pleasure to wear everywhere. Nice. So if you've watched my channel very much over the past few months, you would know I love the cologne style, meaning that sort of white musk with lots of citrus. I love Chanel's eau de cologne. That's become one of my favorite fragrances ever. Hermes eau de orange vert. Guerlain's cologne imperial. This is in that category. And it is done so well. This is so fresh. It just makes me feel instantly good. It has that kind of fizzy, light citrus and light white musk thing that a fragrance like Chanel's eau de cologne has. But I think it might perform pretty well. Just on the paper here, the citrus, it feels really dense. Like it feels like there's a pretty high dose of citrus oils in here. That blood orange makes it a little different than what you're used to smelling in this style of fragrance. I really like this a lot. I could see getting a bottle of this. For me, just kind of off the top, the cologne I could see getting a bottle of. I already have a bottle of Remarkable People. And then Fat Electrician, the vetiver, kind of a vetiver with, how is it sticking to my table? Oh my goodness, what? Well, there must be something sweet in there. It made the sticker, or it made the paper stick to my table, so there must be some kind of like vanilla oil in here or something. You can actually see the oil on the ends of all of these. So these all are you know, nice. Ooh, man, that's the jasmine cigarette. So that one, not my favorite. Like this, I'm kind of in the middle. Dangerous Complicity. I think I would really enjoy to smell on a lady. And then Putain des Palaces. Oh man, nice powdered sex there. So that is the Etat Libre D'Orange Discovery set. This was fairly inexpensive. I think it was like $20, something like that. Maybe 25. So I highly recommend checking this out if you like kind of more avant-garde things, if you can appreciate the artistic side of fragrances. I definitely recommend checking out Etat Libre D'Orange. And then also, just if you, they have some more wearable scents as well. I think they definitely have something for everyone here. You know, this is the most eclectic collection from a discovery set that I've ever smelled. So, you know, definitely big respect there for this brand, just kind of on first impression. So this is a brand I definitely want to explore further. So that's going to be it for this one. Let me know down in the comments, do you have much experience with Eldo? If you do, what are your favorites? Let me know down in the comments. And if you made it this far, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Join me here on the channel for another video next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.